Canelo Alvarez tells the truth about Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford gets in his feelings about it. Canelo said other than Errol Spence, he ain't really beat no real good fighters.
Despite doubts about Terence Crawford's ability to defeat Canelo Alvarez at 168 lbs, having never fought beyond 154 lbs, the long-anticipated bout seems set for September in Las Vegas. Thanks to Turki Alosi's efforts, the fight is becoming a reality, despite skepticism surrounding Crawford's chances against the Mexican champion at his natural weight.
Baby, look forward to it. Crawford versus Canelo. Listen how I said it.
Are we getting this confirmation?
The rivalry between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez has only intensified, reaching a boiling point during a heated airport encounter. Both fighters were in the same place for a meeting with Turki Alik when a verbal exchange quickly turned physical. Canelo, with an icy glare, dismissed Crawford's place at 168 lbs, triggering an immediate response from Bud, who fired back, calling out Canelo for his past fight conditions. The tension between them has never been higher, adding more fuel to their anticipated showdown.
About me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not.
The tension between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez exploded when a heated exchange turned physical. It started with a shove, but things escalated when Canelo threw a short, sharp blow to Crawford's chest, prompting those nearby to intervene before chaos erupted. Security quickly stepped in, separating the two, but the message was clear. This fight was deeply personal. Canelo, smirking, dismissed Crawford's challenge, muttering that Bud was too small and not worth the effort. However, the confrontation didn't end there. As they were escorted away, both fighters continued exchanging verbal jabs. Crawford mocked Canelo's past opponents, calling him a cherry picker, while Canelo, visibly irritated, allegedly told his team, "This guy doesn't know what he's asking for. He's about to get hurt." The encounter only added more fuel to their inevitable showdown.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, this is the next thing.
Has long expressed his frustration with Canelo Alvarez, who criticized the level of opponents Crawford has faced in his career. Now, it's Crawford's trainer, Brian McIntyre, who is speaking out against Canelo, particularly regarding the rehydration clause Canelo is reportedly known for demanding from his opponents. This clause restricts fighters from exceeding a certain weight after stepping on the scales before the fight. McIntyre made it clear that Crawford won't be bound by such a condition and will not impose it on Canelo, regardless of weight differences. "We don't care about that. You can only go up to a certain point, and if you go past that, it's your problem," McIntyre said. The first thing that came out of his mouth was that he wanted the fight, and if Terence has no problem
touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo.
McIntyre has made his stance clear when it comes to the rehydration clause that Canelo Alvarez is reportedly known to demand from his opponents. "I think that's BS. It's for wimps when they say you can't lift more than that weight," McIntyre told The Ring when asked if they would ask the Mexican fighter to abide by the same clause. "This is boxing. I have the skills. You stepped on the scale, you gave the weight, and no matter how much you come back after, you accepted the fight. So let's get in the ring and fight like men." It's that simple. McIntyre's words are a clear reflection of the confidence and determination surrounding Terence Crawford as he looks to prove his greatness against Canelo Alvarez. Crawford has always downplayed concerns about the weight difference, especially in a fight where he will move up to face the Mexican at 168 lbs. Crawford sees these challenges as opportunities to showcase his skill and resilience. He emphasized that it's in these types of situations, when the odds are stacked against him, that true fighters are born. "People say you're too small, you're outmatched, or you shouldn't be in the ring with this type of fighter. That's when great fighters perform at their best," he told Boxing Scene. This mentality puts Crawford on a mission to prove himself against Canelo, who is regarded as one of the sport's best pound-for-pound fighters. Crawford is not intimidated by the size difference and firmly believes that greatness is forged through overcoming these types of challenges. His confidence contrasts with the fears many have expressed about him stepping up in weight to fight Canelo. Crawford, however, sees this as a necessary step in his career, and he's determined to prove his worth against a fighter who has dominated in multiple weight classes. Amir Khan, who has fought both Crawford and Canelo, offered a unique perspective on the upcoming showdown. Khan is the only boxer to have shared the ring with both fighters. Back in May 2016, Khan moved up to middleweight to challenge Canelo for the WBC title. But despite a promising start, Canelo stopped him in the 6th round with a brutal knockout. 3 years later, Khan dropped back down to his natural weight of 147 lbs to challenge Crawford for the WBO welterweight title. This time, Crawford showed his superiority, dropping Khan in the 1st round before securing a 6th round TKO win. Khan recently shared his thoughts on the fight between Canelo and Crawford, revealing that there is one fighter who hit harder than both. On the Ahat Live podcast, Khan named Marcos Maidana as the hardest-hitting fighter he has ever faced. "Maidana was a beast," Khan said. "I can't remember anything from the 1st round and then the next thing. The fight was a blur. I only remember things when I watched the fight back on TV. What a fight that was. Exciting. You had speed, power, and everything in there. He was very heavy-handed. He hits you, you feel it. It's not one of those stinging shots. I've been put down with shots that haven't hurt me, a flash knockdown. But with him, he had that devastating power that would go through you even when he was next to you. You feel how heavy his hand is." Khan and Maidana fought in 2010, with Khan winning by unanimous decision to retain his WBA super lightweight title in a fight that many considered one of the best of that year. Khan was full of praise for Maidana's punching power, making it clear that the Argentine had one of the most devastating knockout punches in boxing. With Canelo and Crawford set to meet later this year in a much-anticipated bout, Khan's insight adds an interesting dynamic to the conversation. Many expect an epic clash between two of boxing's biggest stars, but there are those who are concerned about Crawford's ability to handle the raw physicality of a fighter like Canelo, who has built his legacy dominating larger opponents. The size advantage Canelo has over Crawford is undeniable, and many see this as a dangerous leap for Crawford, especially given Canelo's dominance at 168 lbs. However, Crawford's camp remains unwavering in their confidence. Despite the challenges ahead, they believe Terence has the skill, the experience, and the mentality to overcome the odds and prove himself as one of the greatest. Former rival Errol Spence Jr., another key figure in the welterweight division, has already made his prediction for the bout, but regardless of outside opinions, Crawford is focused on his goal: to step into the ring with Canelo, face the challenge, head on, and continue to carve out his legacy as one of the best in boxing today. For years, Canelo Alvarez has been known for his ability to control the pace of a fight, using relentless pressure to walk down opponents. His durability is second to none, as he's withstood powerful shots from the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, and Dmitry Bivol without faltering. Canelo's strength lies in his ability to absorb punishment and continue imposing his will on opponents, a trait that has earned him the respect of the boxing world. However, Terence Crawford has never faced an opponent capable of sustaining such power over 12 rounds, leading many critics to believe that Canelo's strength and resilience will be the deciding factor in their eventual clash. Despite this, those inside Crawford's camp argue that weight and raw power aren't the only factors that determine the outcome of a fight at this level. They believe Canelo has shown signs of slowing down in recent bouts, pointing to his fight against Jermell Charlo as an example. In that contest, Canelo failed to secure a knockout against a naturally smaller man despite Charlo being overly cautious throughout the fight. Even more telling, according to Crawford's team, was Canelo's performance against Edgar Berlanga. While Canelo won the fight, he didn't dominate in the way many expected, and Berlanga, who lacks elite-level skills, was able to have his moments. Crawford's camp sees this as a sign of vulnerability in Canelo's game, and they are confident that Crawford, a far superior boxer, will have no trouble taking advantage of any openings. Crawford is known for his ability to break opponents down mentally and physically, making tactical adjustments throughout the fight to create opportunities. His versatility, especially his ability to switch stances seamlessly, could pose a serious challenge for Canelo. The Mexican champion is typically methodical in his approach, preferring to counterpunch and exploit openings rather than overwhelming opponents with volume. But Crawford's fluid movement and constant change of angles may be enough to disrupt Canelo's rhythm, a feat few fighters have been able to achieve. On the other hand, Canelo's most vocal supporters dismiss these claims, arguing that Crawford's success has largely come against smaller fighters who lack the defensive acumen necessary to survive at the elite level in higher weight classes. They emphasize that Errol Spence Jr., the biggest name on Crawford's resume, was visibly drained and diminished when they fought. Critics also argue that Crawford has never truly felt the kind of power that Canelo possesses, pointing out that opponents like Sean Porter and Kell Brook, while tough, don't hit like Canelo does. Unlike Spence, who is flat-footed and often a stationary target, Canelo boasts elite head movement and defensive awareness, making him a far more elusive and dangerous opponent. Team Canelo firmly believes that Crawford will quickly realize that he's facing a different kind of fighter once the opening bell rings. Canelo's supporters are confident that his physicality, experience, and superior boxing IQ will prove too much for Crawford, regardless of the latter's skill set and versatility. While Crawford's camp is determined to prove their point, Canelo's team remains confident that the Mexican star will shine when it matters most.